night falls slow on an empty street. Your shadow still walks beside my feet. I talk to walls, they know you well. Every crack has a story I couldn't tell. Your jacket's cold on the back of the chair, still smells like a love you left in the air. I swore I'd be fine, I swore I'd be strong, but the truth keeps humming your favorite song. I replay words I should have said, they echo loud inside my head. If love is brave, then why am I still afraid to say goodbye? I'm learning how to breathe alone in a house that never feels like home. I call your name, but you're not there, just broken prayers and silent air. If tears could talk, they'd say the same. I loved you more than love could stay. Now all I have is the pain I claim when silence finally learns my name. Morning light through broken blinds shows all the pieces you left behind. Your coffee cup still by the sink, like you'll walk in if I don't blink. Friends say time will heal the scar, but time just shows me who we are. You moved on like it was easy to do. I stayed behind, still loving you. I count the days, I count the lies, I count the ways I let us die. If love is real, then why does it fade away like this? I'm learning how to breathe alone in a house that never feels like home. I call your name, but you're not there, just broken prayers in silent air. If tears could talk, they'd say the same. I loved you more than love could stay. Now all I have is the pain I claim when silence finally learns my name. Maybe someday I'll hear your song and it won't hurt to sing along. Maybe I'll smile, not break in two, when something reminds me of you. But tonight I'm just a heart in flames, trying not to lose what still remains. I'm learning how to let you go, even though my heart says no. I'll close the door, I'll dim the flame, I'll stop chasing yesterday's rain. If love comes back, it won't be the same, but I won't drown in who you were. I'll rise again out of the pain before silence forgets my name. So if you hear this melody, know it was once the best of me. I loved you deep, I loved you true. Now I'm learning how to love me too. The curtains still hold the shape of the light, the way you like them, pinned to the right. I haven't moved the book on the floor, or the jacket hanging behind the door. The tea's gone cold in my favorite cup. I'm still waiting for the sun to wake us up, but the clock just ticks in an empty room, and the garden's forgotten how to bloom. I'm reaching out in the middle of the night for a ghost of a hand, for a flicker of light. But the air is thin and the shadows are tall. I'm learning how to live inside this crawl. Now there's only silence where you slept, a hollow space where the secrets were kept. It's a cinematic game, a slow motion blue. Everything I touch is a version of you. I'm a Polaroid fading, a story unread, just the echo in silence where you laid your head. I found your scent on a sweater today. It's the only thing that hasn't drifted away. I closed my eyes and I was back in the hall before the winter, before the fall. Now I'm walking through scenes of a life we owned, in a house that feels like it's made of stone. Every floorboard creaks like a whispered name, but the person who answers isn't the same. There's only silence where you slept, a hollow space where the secrets were kept. It's a cinematic ache, a slow motion blue. Everything I touch is a version of you. I'm a Polaroid fading, a story unread, just the echo in silence where you laid your head. Is it nostalgia, or is it a haunting to want the very thing that is daunting? The bed is a desert, the sheets are a sea. I'm drowning in the you that used to be we. tears getting cold on the wooden stand, like where you used to rest your heavy hand. The dust is dancing in the hallway light, tracing shapes of you in the middle of the night. I turn the TV down to hear the rain, but the quiet has a way of shouting out your name. It's the hollow in the hallway, it's the shadow on the floor, it's the sound of the wind that doesn't knock upon the door. Found your old sweater in the bottom drawer. It doesn't smell like us much anymore. Just cedar wood in a winter long ago, before the fire turned to ash beneath the snow. Places where I miss you the most. It's the space beside the pillow, it's the ticking of the clock, it's the ghost of a key turning slowly in the lock. I found, and they say that time is quiet, that it heals the jagged edge, but I'm standing on the silence like it's a crumbling ledge. It's too loud, God, it's so loud. The sound of you not being flickers where you stood. I'd fix the bowl, but I don't think I should. It's been 6 months of living in the gray, finding all the things I couldn't say. I used to scream until the window shook. Now I'm reading silence like a book. The neighbors never hear a single sound, since I learned to keep my shadows underground. It's a quiet kind of breaking, a silent kind of storm. The ghost of us is aching, but I'm keeping myself warm in the dark. I learned to cry softly, so you wouldn't hear the sound of my wide world down in your ear. No more crashing waves, just a steady slow rain. I mastered the art of the elegant pain. I breathe in the smoke, I exhale the blue. I learn to cry softly, to let go of you. I see your photos and I don't turn away. I just let the colors fade to sepia and gray. I used to wonder who was in your bed. Now I just make peace with what was never said. My pillow stays dry, I catch the tears in my palm. There's a terrifying beauty in being this calm. It's a quiet kind of breaking, a silent kind of storm. The ghost of us is aching, but I'm keeping myself warm in the dark. I learned to cry softly, so you wouldn't hear the sound of my world falling down in your ear. No more crashing waves, just a steady slow rain. I mastered the art of the elegant pain. I breathe in the smoke, I exhale the blue. I learn to cry softly, to let go of you. No more echoes in the hall, no more writing on the wall, just the static on the screen and a space in between. Silent is the quietness. I learned to cry softly, so you wouldn't hear the sound of my rock wall down in your ear. No more crashing waves, just a steady slow rain. Had mastered the art of the elegant care. I breathe in the smoke, know the map is torn in the quiet of this coastal town. I'm tracing lines where we were born before the sky came crashing down. You're a ghost in the passenger seat. I reach for air, I touch the glass. The bitter taste of bittersweet, watching every street sign pass. And the headlights flicker like a dying spark, just two silhouettes drifting in the dark. We had the keys, we had the light, but we lost the road in the middle of the night. Oh, we almost made it home. I could see the porch light through the trees. Now I'm standing in the fog alone, with our secrets falling to their knees. We were miles away from home, we were inches from the door, but almost is a heavy stone, and we don't live there anymore. No, we don't live there anymore. I found your jacket in the trunk. It smells like salt and gasoline. The ship we built has finally sunk into the spaces in between. Do you remember how we laughed before the silence turned to gray? We drew our lives on a photograph, then let the colors wash away. And the radio's humming a static song, asking where the hell we went so wrong. We had the map, we had the drive, but we couldn't keep the fire alive. Oh, we almost made it home. I could see the porch light through the trees. Now I'm standing in the fog alone, with our secrets falling to their knees. We were miles away from over, we were inches from the door, but almost is a heavy stone, and we don't live there anymore. It's the almost that breaks me, it's the nearly that haunts, it's the ghost of the future, and nobody wants. We were right on the doorstep, I could feel the warmth inside, but the distance grew a canyon where we both went to hide, where we both went to hide. but I'm never getting home. The static hums a familiar tune across the empty, sun-drenched room. I reach to change the station's frequency, but every wave just brings you back to me. A three-chord ghost in a minor key, unlocking doors I thought I'd lost the key. I heard you laugh in a shellow's bow, in a song we loved 1,000 years ago. The lyrics shift, they start to bleed into the words I know I'll never need. Forever yours and don't let go. Sound different when the winter starts to snow. It's not just noise, it's a haunting art, the frequency of a broken heart. I'm caught in the tape, I'm lost in the track, waiting for the needle to bring you back. And oh, I hear you in the old songs, in the melodies where we used to belong. Every bridge is a place we used to meet. Every chorus is a memory, bittersweet. I'm living in the reverb, I'm drowning in the air, looking for your heartbeat, but you're never there. Just an echo of a love gone wrong. I hear you in the old songs. I tried to hum a different line to prove that I was doing fine, but my voice breaks on the second verse, like a beautiful melodic curse. The radio is a time machine, showing me things I shouldn't have seen. It's not just noise, it's a haunting art, the frequency of a broken heart. I'm caught in the tape, I'm lost in the track, waiting for the needle to break The coffee's been sitting for an hour or more, watching the light crawl across the floor. You're checking your watch, I'm checking out. We're drowning in things we don't talk about. Your keys are already in your hand, like you're halfway to another land. And I'm just a landmark you're passing by, under a heavy bruised purple sky. We missed the exit, we missed the sign. We've been living on borrowed time. I reached for you, but you were there, even though you're sitting right there. And now we're half a goodbye too late, standing at a rusted, locked up gate. The fire went out in the middle of the night, while we were too tired to even fight. I'm mourning a ghost who's still in the room, watching the shadows begin to bloom. We waited for the ending to feel like fate, but we're just half a goodbye too late. I remember the way your jacket smelled, and the secrets that only the silence held. But now your scent is a foreign thing, and I've forgotten how we used to sing. You're saying the words like you're reading a script, but the tether we had is already slipped. It's a mercy kill that took too long, the final note of a broken song. We missed the ending, we missed the cue. There's nothing left for us to do. I looked for us, but we weren't there, just the cold weight of the winter air. And now we're half a goodbye too late, standing at a rusted, locked up gate. The fire went out in the middle of the night, while we were too tired to even fight. I'm mourning a ghost who's still in the room, watching the shadows begin to bloom. We waited for the ending to feel like fate, but we'll just have a goodbye too late. Maybe if we'd left when the leaves were green, we wouldn't be part of this hollow scene. Maybe if we'd screamed, maybe if we'd cried, we wouldn't have let this drift out with the tide. But we stayed for the winter, we stayed for the frost, counting the things we already lost. Now we're half a goodbye too late, standing at a rusted, locked up gate. The fire went out a long time ago. And I think we were the last to know. I'm mourning a ghost who's still in the room, watching the shadows begin to bloom. We're just a memory of a mistake, half a goodbye, half a heart, already miles apart. box beneath the guest room bed, full of things we never should have said. Whiteboard is turning to dusty gold. Stories of a summer that was never meant to grow old. Here's you laughing by the garden gate, before we learned how to carry all this weight. The chemicals are bleeding, the colors start to run, like we're losing our places in the sun. It's a chemical reaction, a slow decay, watching the best of us just wash away. I'm holding on to ghosts made of paper and ink, standing on the edge, trying not to blink. And we're just fading Polaroids of us, turning into shadows, turning into dust. I can almost feel your hand, I can almost hear your name, but every time I look, you don't look the same. Yeah, the edges are curling, the image is blurred. We're the saddest story that nobody heard, just fading Polaroids of us. There's a shot of us in the pouring rain, smiling like we didn't know the word for pain. Your face is a snub of a memory now. I'd fix the exposure if I only knew how. But you can't develop what's already gone. You can't keep the light when you're chasing the dawn. It's a chemical reaction, a lonely art, the slow motion breaking of a human heart. I'm holding on to frames that are empty and cold, watching the silver turn into mold. And we're just fading Polaroids of us, turning into shadows, turning into dust. I can almost feel your hand, I can almost hear your name, but every time I look, you don't look the same. Edges are curling, the image is blurred. We're the saddest story that nobody heard, just fading Polaroids of us.
Maybe if I keep them in the dark, they'll keep a little bit of that original spark. Maybe if I don't look, you'll stay real. Maybe I'll forget how this emptiness feels. If the light always finds a way in, just a white square where you used to be.
Found your ghost in the kitchen light, tracing the space where you stood last night. The tea is cold, the clock is slow. I'm learning the things that I didn't know, like how the floorboards ache without your feet, and how the bitter taste of us is almost sweet. We weren't a storm, we weren't a fire, just a slow burning wick on a frame wire. I kept the peace, I held my breath while we were dancing a quiet death. No, I loved you in the quiet, in the spaces where the words would never go. I built a kingdom in the silence, but I was the only one who really seemed to know. Now the silence is a scream, a hollow place where we once had a dream. I loved you when the world was standing still, and I guess I always will. There's a film of dust on the Polaroid, a little more room in the dark gray void. I saw a car that looked like yours today. For a second, the color didn't look so great, but then the light changed and the engines hummed, and I remembered why I've grown so numb. We weren't a crash, we weren't a fall, just a slow motion leaning against the wall. I kept the secrets, I played the part while the winter settled in my heart. No, I loved you in the quiet, in the spaces where the words would never go. I built a kingdom in the silence, but I was the only one who really seemed to know. Now the silence is a scream, a hollow place where we once had a dream. I loved you when the world was standing still, and I guess I always will. Did you hear me when I said nothing at all? Did you feel me trying to catch you through the wall? I loved you better when we didn't speak, because the truth was always far too weak. I guess I always will. The hallway light still flickers where you stood. I'd fix the bulb, but I don't think I should. It's been 6 months of living in the grave, finding all the things I couldn't say. I used to scream until the window shut. Now I'm reading silence like a book. The neighbors never hear a single sound, since I learned to keep my shadows underground. It's a quiet kind of breaking, a silent kind of storm. The ghost of us is aching, but I'm keeping myself warm in the dark. I learned to cry softly so you wouldn't hear the sound of my world falling down in your ear. No more crashing waves, just a steady slow ride. I mastered the art of the elegant pain. I breathe in the smoke, I exhale the blur. I learned to cry softly, to let go of you. I see your photos and I don't turn away. I just let the colors fade to sepia and gray. I used to wonder who was in your bed, and now I just made peace with what was never said. My pillow stays dry, I catch the tears in my palm. There's a terrifying beauty in being this calm. It's a quiet kind of breaking, a silent kind of storm. The ghost of us is aching, but I'm keeping myself warm in the dark. I learned to cry softly so you wouldn't hear the sound of my world falling down in your ear. No more crashing waves, just a steady slow ride. I mastered the art of the elegant pain. Let go.